What does your health have to do with your finances? And what does your finances have to do with the Transamerica Pyramid Scheme? Well, we're going to cover part 5 today, so stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Hey, this is Lance McGowan with Essential Oils Me, and I have my friend here, Tanner Frigard, who's in the financial services industry. And how are you doing?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
So we got another question in here, or a claim, as you would call it. And so it's basically pyramid schemes often use products and Ponzi schemes don't. The product is typically an overpriced commodity and is often incidental to the business opportunity, but the product itself exists. And when I hear that, I mean, the first thing I think of is, well, the price depends on the type of purchase that you're going to make. And so that means for me, like, because I'm in the health and wellness field, then it's, does somebody want to get something retail or wholesale? And it also depends on what they're going to get. Is it a one-time purchase or is it a every month purchase? And so there's a lot of things that kind of get factored into all of that. And I know from a health standpoint, if you don't take care of your health, something is going to cost more.
Absolutely.
It could be your healthcare costs. It could be, you know, health insurance. It could be life insurance. It could be a lot of things. So I believe cost is a function of what type of product you're getting, like retail, wholesale, and also what type of measures you're taking to take care of your health or not.
Absolutely.
I don't know, what are some of your thoughts on this?
So I 100% agree with you. I would add in that it's also the time. You know, if you're looking at buying a house or a car and the market is up and everything costs more, then you buy it and then it suddenly costs less within the next few months. I mean, you could make that argument then that you paid more than what you actually owe on the house, and that's where things actually end up getting turned upside down. Or let's say we want to buy a nicer car. We're buying a Cadillac or a Lamborghini, but you're not going to be paying that same price you would if it was like a Chevy Cruze or a Honda Accord or something. There's going to be different levels of costs, you know, and it goes into whether that's an investment or on yourself or a product to get you to your end goal.
Yeah, so what I hear is it's based on market conditions or demand. It's also based off of brand. So are we paying for a brand name or not? And I think the heart of this question, though, is more on, hey, the product is, you know, a vanilla product, but because we slap a label on it, now it's going to be able to pay for the commissions for the people who are selling it or something, right? But I think at the end of the day, I know for me, like, because folks can get products wholesale and get anywhere from 25 to 55% off, it makes it a more affordable option than getting oils or products on Amazon or getting things even at the store. Plus they get the personalized support and education aspect, which adds priceless amounts of value. And so I think when people make this claim, they're not thinking about the total value that they may or may not be getting. Because can you put a price tag on the free education you're getting? Can you put a price tag on the, you know, personalized support that you receive? You could, but I mean, we don't.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's priceless, because we don't put a price list on that.
Or that you really could. I mean, it's kind of hard to gauge if you're not a university or a school how much that education should cost somebody, especially if you just want to add more value to them, you know. And I mean, when you're talking about the health aspect as well, one of the things I love is when we're talking about retail. Now, you can buy anything a little bit cheaper, right? And you're talking about having just that name brand on there makes all the difference in the world. You could have two totally same, like, tennis rackets or golf clubs, whatever it is. They could be side by side, but one of them has that Wilson's label on it and one of them is just a generic brand. Now they're made side by side in the factory. They have the same grades, they're same materials, everything's identical, but one of them has that name on it, right? So that's why you pay a little bit more for it. You want that reputation of having that name, which sometimes is a little more costly.
Yeah. And I know another thing that would affect the price or the cost is when you would start something. So when it comes to like savings for retirement, due to the power of compound interest, if you started saving when you were 25, and so when you got to 65, you'd have a lot more than if you started when you were 55. So the amount per month you pay has to be a lot more because you have such a shorter amount of time.
Absolutely.
The longer you wait to start retirement. And so I think there's just so many factors, whether it be brand, market conditions, retail or wholesale options when it comes to like health related, but also what type of account, like the age you start something. And so when somebody says it's overpriced, I think.
Compared to what?
Exactly. That's my point. I'm saying compared to what? Like, what do we look? We have to look at all those things, plus probably some other things too. I mean, and so I think that this one has also been debunked. So this claim has been debunked because you just have to look at the bigger picture. And I always say there's three things we need to look at. Who's the individual or person that's talking to you with regards to this? What's the product or service they're offering, and what's the company? So doing research and not just letting one bad apple ruin the whole bunch, or letting a good apple help influence your decision too. But then also, if we don't have all the information, if we have inaccurate information, or we're not interpreting those two correctly, then we're going to come to a false conclusion. And so I believe it's important to factor in all those things and basically build discernment as to how we look at things and not just come to a false conclusion, because it's easier to put something in a box than it is to actually look at all those things, the brand and the market and the, what type of account and when we start something and all that. So.
Absolutely. And that's why we sit down with professionals, right? Whether that be if we're sick, we're going to a doctor or someone who's qualified to help us to make sure that we're getting better. Same thing if you're dealing with money. You go see the financial doctors, go see your CPAs, go see your financial advisors, your planners. Make sure that you got a good lawyer as well. And then when it comes to health, make sure that you guys are seeing Lance, because the things that he's doing is incredible with the health aspect. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click the subscribe button so you can catch more video updates, or click one of the links in the description box below so you can continue to get your learn on.
Absolutely. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please comment in the section below. We would love to be able to get some more information out to you.